Hey everyone, in this video we're going to be continuing with our final project, and this one's going to be all about option A, which is going to be basically making our nameplate and also adding textures or images to our name. Now, with that being said, the first part here is we're going to be adding an outside cut line to our artboard. We want to make sure we leave the bottom 6 inches by 5/16, which is 0.31 decimal wise, to have room for that little portion of the material to sit into the base. Now, with that being said, here is how we get started. Going into Adobe Illustrator. So I have my artboard here. I have my cut line kind of already in. I'm going to select that with the selection tool. And then what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to click and drag it to the outside edge, stretching it out. And I'm going to leave it inside the artboard. All right. And if it gets to the edge, I don't want it quite on the edge. Now, if you alt and zoom in, you might have a little bit, you can probably get a little bit closer before that starts, I guess, bleeding over the edge. Once again, inside the artboard. Now, the next thing I want to do is I want to click and drag the same way on the other opposite side, stretching it out, almost make it the full 6 inches. It's 5.97, so we're about, I guess, I don't know, 32nd fractionally from being a full 6. Now, from there, what we're going to do next is we are going to go to the top circle up here, and we're going to click and drag that top little bend. Actually, one second here. I'm just going to move my toolbar out of the way here. I'm going to click and drag that circle and bend. Oh, no, sorry. I'm wrong. I'm going to edit undo because I didn't want to do that. I want to click to select, and then I want to click and drag to bend this one, and I want to put at least, I would say, like a 0.12, maybe more of a bend to round that top edge, just making that a little more pleasing to the eye. So I'm going to leave mine at 0.31. I'm going to do the same thing on the opposite edge, in the opposite corner. And when I click to select, now I'm ready to click and drag, and once again go to 0.31 inches. It should be the same as your other one. You could pick a smaller number. I would say smallest being 0.12, largest probably being like 0.31, right around there. Once I get there, I'm going to release. Now, if I zoom out a little bit, I have my cut line all set up. This bottom portion is going to end up kind of sitting into the little tray, which is going to be a little stand that this little piece will fit into. And what we can do now is just make sure we set up I guess this is going to be setting up a guideline so we don't end up interfering with that space. Now, the next thing we do is we're going to come in, we're going to use the rectangle tool. If this little bar isn't out, you can get that little bar to be out by selecting the tool and then right click and hitting this little arrow. But I'm going to make a rectangle, and I want to select, and I want to make a rectangle. I just clicked one time, now I get options. I'm going to make my width 6 inches. And I'm going to hit tab to get to the other piece. I'm going to type 0.31 into the height. That's like 5/16 of an inch. And then I'm going to hit OK. Now, once I hit OK, I am going to end up with a 6 inch by 5/16 inches tall rectangle. And right now it's in a cut line, but that actually doesn't matter right now because I'm going to end up making the guideline anyway. So I'm going to kind of zoom out a little bit here so I can kind of see where I want to go. And I'm going to use my selection tool to move this over. And I'm going to drop it right on the bottom, lining up with the edge, intersecting. I'm going to Alt and zoom in just to kind of make sure I'm right where I need to be. My line is a little bit over, so I'm going to click and move it to the side. All right, but it's lining up with the bottom of my other cut line. And what I want to do next is I want to select that to make sure I had selected that little new rectangle we just made. And I want to right click, and we're going to do make guides. All right, if I deselect now, you'll see that cut line turned blue. Now that guide gives us a kind of a little line so we know where we shouldn't be building or preparing any space in. Lastly, I want to come over here with my tool, my type tool, click to add my name, and then in here I want to type my name. All right. And you can also go through and select, change any of the type or text you want to have in there. I'm going to leave mine boring right now because I think you guys have already used the font or the type tool a lot in our projects. And then I'm going to stretch it out by using the selection tool to click and drag. And then keep my letters right above that space and keep it inside the edge of my board. And kind of the same thing the opposite direction. Click the corner, stretch it out to the edge, kind of keeping it, I guess, similar to our last side. If I can go up a little bit, just because I have a little more room, I'm going to do that. And I'm going to use this space, I guess, relatively well, meaning don't leave a lot of space extra and outside. Now I want to hit save just because I've done some work, file save. And then this is where this part of the video ends. We have a few things left to do, and that is, well, add some texture, add some images to this document. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.